Hey, it's Caroline. Welcome to today's Balanced Leader. Let's get real for a minute. Do you agree with me that something isn't working in leadership today? Maybe you felt it. You're running meetings, you're hitting targets, and you're driving results, but the spark seems to be gone. The weight of leadership feels heavier than ever. You feel like your team isn't as engaged. Innovation is slowing down, but yet you're working harder and the impact isn't there. Here's why. The old leadership model is broken. It doesn't really work anymore. The model where leaders hold all the answers instead of creating space for solutions to emerge, where they operate from control rather than influence and trust, and where they make all the decisions while the team follows orders or push for results at the cost of creativity, collaboration, and even humans. That model doesn't work anymore because the world is different. Markets are moving faster. Companies are scaling quicker. Teams are more diverse. And if you're still leading the way leaders did 20 years ago, you know what? You're probably already behind. This is why we need to redefine leadership, to shift from leading for power to leading for impact. And that's where inclusive leadership comes in. Not the soft, surface level kind, not just saying the right things about diversity. It's about talking about strategic, high impact leadership that unlocks hidden potential and fuels business success. So today, if that sounds like something interesting, we're breaking down exactly what this looks like. And I'm going to give you real life examples, proven frameworks, and then practical steps that you can take to become the kind of leader who creates real lasting impact. You can integrate this into your day. You ready? Let's dive in. This is today's Balanced Leader. So, how do you become the kind of leader who fuels engagement, innovation, and results? Well, I've broken it down into 4 pillars for you that we're going to talk about today. The first one is leading with curiosity. Great leaders don't assume they have all the answers, because let's admit it, nobody does. They ask better questions and create the culture of curiosity. Let me tell you why that's true. Studies show that companies that foster curiosity see 47% higher innovation and 34% greater problem-solving skills. Curiosity leads to more engaged employees and, as a result, faster problem-solving. Let me give you some case studies to show the proof in the pudding. Let's look at Ford and Alan Mulally. Instead of top-down directives, Alan introduced the business plan review, a curiosity-driven process that saved Ford from bankruptcy. By fostering this curiosity as part of that business plan review, he made problem-solving collaborative, allowing ideas to emerge from every level of the company. The people that truly make the product, that service the people, that sell to the customers, they got to influence. Still not sold on it? Well, LinkedIn and Jeff Weiner emphasize compassionate leadership and have built a culture of open dialogue and rapid learning. You can see rapid learning all over LinkedIn. By encouraging this kind of curiosity at all levels, LinkedIn was able to adapt quickly to market changes and expand its platform capabilities. So It's why I use it so much. All right. So maybe you're sold on why curiosity is important, but how do I integrate that into my day? Well, leaders should regularly challenge their assumptions and seek out discerning opinions. Don't assume that you know it all, that you've got the answer. A leader who discourages curiosity actually shuts down new ideas before they even have a chance to develop. And that leads to stagnation and, to be honest, disengagement in your people. We want to create a culture where it's safe to say, I don't know as the leader. This signals to your team that learning is valued over ego. A leader who truly encourages that kind of curiosity creates an environment where employees feel safe to explore and to innovate. How can you implement it? Well, you maybe create something called curiosity sprints. Dedicate a portion of meetings to brainstorming without judgment or immediate decision making. It's fun. It's a great way to come up with different ideas and pick the best of the best. So, how can you start making a difference today around curiosity? Begin each meeting with the question, what are we missing? Because the what are we missing allows the conversation to begin rather than just giving them directives. Another way is introduce an Ask Me Anything session with senior leaders, where a senior leader sits there and employees get to ask anything of the leader. Trust me, the leader will also benefit from that. 3 is reward teams for questions, not just solutions. Recognize them. Let them know that that was a great question and you never thought about it that way. Don't just look for answers. It's an opportunity to come up with a question, solve a problem, brainstorm together, and find the solution. And finally, 4, schedule something maybe like monthly innovation hours where teams can pitch a new idea without the fear of judgment. All right, that's number 1. Number 2, let's talk about elevating the unheard voices. You know those people that just come to meetings and never say anything. Teams that feel heard are 4.6 times more likely to be engaged. Because when employees believe that their input is valued, they take greater ownership of their work and contribute more innovative ideas. All right, here we go. Here's the case studies. Let's talk first about Salesforce. Mark Benioff realized that pay inequities existed, but only after implementing an anonymous employee feedback system. But because of that exposure to the pay inequities, it led to a $6 million investment in salary corrections. His leadership proved that addressing hidden voices directly improves fairness and morale, because they were finally able to say something. If you look at PepsiCo and Indra Nooyi, who we've talked a lot about, she credited frontline employees for product innovations. And then PepsiCo increased retention and strengthened their brand loyalty, which was key. Employees at all levels began to feel valued, and this led to higher job satisfaction and, to be honest, better product development. All right, how do we integrate this in my day-to-day? Sounds great, right? I want to have employees feel like they're being heard. Well, a company where only executives make decisions runs the risk of missing critical insights from the people who work closest to the customers and products, right? A company that amplifies unheard voices uncovers that innovative idea that would have otherwise remained hidden and maybe your competition pick up on. So how do we do it? Audit who speaks the most in meetings and ensure every voice has a turn. Talk to a learning and development trainer. They'll teach you how to do it. It's a fine art. Train managers to practice active listening techniques, such as summarizing and reflecting before responding. I actually did a podcast on active listening, and I also run a workshop on it. So if you're interested in that, just let me know. It's a great way to make sure that you're hearing what it is people are saying. And then finally, create employee-led advisory boards to provide insights into company decisions. And then they can relay the information back to you. What can you do today to start implementing hearing more voices? Well, 1, rotate who runs meetings to give different perspectives a platform. 2, implement silent brainstorming before discussions to capture those hidden insights. Start them at the beginning of the meeting. Have some fun before you get to the drier content that has to be delivered. 3, develop a mentorship program that allows junior voices to advise senior leaders. What a great way to hear from them. And then 4, use employee surveys to gather direct feedback and follow up with action items based on these responses. Always got to respond to these employee surveys and make them know that they are of value and that you're going to do something with the information.
And if you feel this way, if the weight of uncertainty has left you drained and disconnected, I want to invite you to something truly special. My upcoming virtual retreat is designed for leaders like you who need a moment to pause, to reset, and to reclaim your energy. It's not about adding another to-do to your list. It's about giving yourself the space to breathe, to reflect, and to realign. Because when you show up fully for yourself, you show up fully for your team, your business, and your life. If that resonates with you, head to my website to grab your spot. The link is below in the show notes, and give yourself permission to step away from the chaos and into renewal.
Okay, the next one we're going to talk about is building a culture of shared ownership. And why do we want to do that? Well, we know that employees with a strong sense of ownership are 21% more productive and 25% more engaged. So when people feel they have a stake in outcomes, they invest more effort and creativity into their work. A perfect example of who does this well is Richard Branson at Virgin. Branson built a culture where employees make key decisions, empowering them to drive business success across multiple industries. Virgin thrives on a culture of trust and autonomy. In fact, he'll admit that he probably wouldn't be as successful without them. We can also look at Mary Barra from General Motors. She redefined GM's internal culture by giving employees decision-making powers, not just tasks. By shifting the responsibility to teams, Mary improved operational efficiency and boosted morale, and in turn, sales. That's great, Caroline, but how do we do that? I'm not Richard Branson or Mary Barra. Well, let's look at it from this lens. A leader who micromanages, prevents employees from taking risks, stifling innovation, and morale, to be honest. When we shift from micromanaging to empowering, we delegate outcomes, not just tasks. A leader who creates shared ownership develops employees who are going to be proactive, engaged, and dedicated to the company's success. Because they want to. Everybody wants to provide something, to be of purpose, to make a difference. The other thing is you could use team-based goal setting instead of top-down objectives. This allows you to really look at how you can leverage your ability to have shared ownership in certain areas of potentially the top-down objective, but they're team-based instead of individual-based. And then you can implement employee-driven problem-solving groups where teams create solutions instead of relying on leadership to find those solutions. And trust me, when the employees develop the solutions, they are more bought into them than if they're from top down. So it handles with two things, right? It's more accepted, and at the same time, they're implemented quicker because you remove that communication and change management that has to happen when you're communicating a big change down. So how can we take steps today? Well, one, instead of assigning tasks, assign decision-making authority. That's really going to empower a lot of your people. Two, co-create company goals with employees, not just leadership. If you've got a specific goal, talk to the employees that you work with and say, how are we going to achieve this? Who's got some ideas? And create a goal that's going to allow you to be successful and have some momentum. Three, highlight team achievements over individual contributions in company-wide updates. We're a team, we work together, we brainstorm, we solve problems together. Everybody has a piece of the pie that they've contributed to. And four, give employees ownership over new initiatives and encourage that cross-functional collaboration. When we go cross-functional, we're able to get different ideas, different perspectives, understand what challenges they have, and come up with the best solution. All right. And then finally, I want to talk about expanding your inner circle. Why is that important? Well, leaders who seek diverse perspectives, I'm not just talking outside of their immediate department, talking outside of their business, so their network, right? And HR, it's the HR people in the business, but also in Ontario, in Canada. What is different, right? So when we have these diverse perspectives, we're able to make better and faster decisions because our brains are already in that mindset, thinking that way. When leaders include those voices from different backgrounds and expertise, they tend to avoid the blind spots and make more informed, logical choices. And I'm going to talk about somebody who's really good at it, is Bill Gates and global health. By partnering with experts outside of his business, Gates accelerated solutions for global health crises, and he recognized that innovation doesn't always come from within the company. It often requires external collaboration. Another one is Gucci's shadow board. I don't know if you've heard about that, but mid-level employees advised leadership, leading to a massive creative revitalization of the Gucci brand. This allowed Gucci to avoid stagnation by embracing fresh perspectives and ideas. All right, let's go back to integrating it again. How do we integrate it into our day? Well, let's look at why we need to. A leader who only seeks input from the same small group limits the perspective and risks repeating the same mistakes over and over. But a leader who expands their inner circle gains fresh insights and innovative solutions, some they may never have thought of. And actively seeking perspectives from different departments, different businesses, cross-functional collaboration fosters that innovation. Something else you could do is maybe expand mentorship programs to include reverse mentoring, where senior leaders learn from the younger employees. So have like a day where you do a reverse mentoring. You want to share with me what you've learned, what you see, what you would do differently. And then diversify your hiring panels and leadership decision-making teams to ensure that you're getting different backgrounds and experiences so that you've got a wider range of knowledge and experience that is represented, because we want to have the diverse backgrounds. So what you could do today to start doing that is maybe one, identify 2 or 3 people outside your usual advisors and schedule a meeting for insights. Go have a coffee with them, just general conversation to see what's happening, what's going on, what's happening in their world. 2, implement structured mentoring across different leadership levels. Don't have a mentor who's in the same department as you necessarily. It shouldn't be too far removed because you want them to understand your business. But what are you mentoring for? Understanding that is key. 3, challenge leadership assumptions by actively seeking contrary viewpoints. Don't be afraid to hear those contrary viewpoints. They're going to help you roll out a better plan. You're going to be understanding what all the pros and cons are going to be, have those plans A's, the plan B's. You're going to be more informed and ready to roll out an initiative when you do that. And then 4, form an advisory board of employees across different levels to provide direct feedback to your leadership. You want that information. You want to hear what they have to say. And you don't have to do something with all of it, but it gives you a sense if you're on track or not, or may have you pause to reevaluate. And then make sure you respond back to those employees and thank them for their feedback. Let them know that it's valuable and you are using it.
Loving this conversation? Well, just wait. There's more to uncover. If today's discussion is resonating with you already, imagine what could happen if you took that next step. Stay with me because I've got something that will help you lead with confidence and clarity. Are you leading or are you just surviving? If you're feeling stuck, overworked, and invisible in your leadership role, this is your wake-up call. Hi, I'm Caroline, and I've seen it all. As an HR director, I watched leaders promoted for their skills, but then left to sink or swim in their new roles. No mentorship, no guidance, just trial by fire. But let me tell you, there's a better way. My Strategic Leadership Accelerator program is a 10-week private coaching program designed to take you from overwhelmed and undervalued to thriving as a high-impact, respected leader. You'll learn how to reclaim your confidence and your voice, master proven strategies to secure promotions, raises, and the respect you deserve, and finally achieve work-life balance without burning out through boundaries. It's time to step into the leader you were born to be. Don't wait another day to create the career and the life you so deserve. Visit my website at carolinebear.com or click the link in the show notes to learn more and book your spot today. The Strategic Leadership Accelerator program, because thriving leaders don't just happen, they're made. Now, let's get back to the conversation.
All right, so let's wrap this up. Leadership isn't just about metrics, strategy, or results. It's about people too. And when you lead with impact, everything changes. Your team doesn't just comply and do what they're told. They actually engage and they start to create some really cool things, right? They don't perform, they innovate. They don't just work for you, they work with you towards something bigger. But here's the key. Inclusive leadership isn't just a trend. It's the most effective way to lead, and I've shown you examples of how it works. It's not about diversity checkboxes or feel-good initiatives, which so many of us have fallen into. It's about creating a culture of belonging, true belonging, innovation, and in turn, high performance. The way you lead sets the tone for your entire organization. If you embrace curiosity and empower everyone, every voice, share their ownership, and expand your perspective, you don't just create a great workplace, you build a legacy of leadership that lasts well beyond you, and you'll be remembered as a phenomenal leader. So let's recap real quickly. Curiosity fuels innovation. When you ask better questions, you unlock better solutions. Amplifying unheard voices unlocks hidden potential. Trust me, great ideas are everywhere if you create the space for them. Shared ownership leads to deeper engagement. When people feel like they're invested, they rise to the challenge, and it's amazing what they come up with. Diverse perspectives lead to stronger decisions. Expanding your inner circle is going to remove those blind spots and drive growth. And what a great way to be able to reach out to people when you come across a challenge where you don't have the answer. But none of this happens by accident. It takes intentional leadership. And I talk a lot in my coaching program about intentional leadership. So I'll leave you with 4 questions to ask yourself. Where can I be more curious? Who in my organization isn't being heard? How can I create more shared ownership? And where am I seeking the same voices instead of new perspectives? Again, true leadership is about impact, not just results, but on the people who drive them. Inclusive leadership isn't just the future, it's the foundation of every great leader today. So will you be the kind of leader who embraces this new definition of leadership? And will you be the leader who inspires, empowers, and leads with impact? I hope so, but that choice starts today. This is today's Balanced Leader, and I'm Caroline. See you next time.